The elderberries are ripening in North Carolina. It's July 22nd, and we've got a couple nice big clumps to harvest here. Look how heavy this clump of berries is. Berries are almost uniformly dark black purple, which is what you want. You'll notice that there are a few green berries and a few less than dark purple, but I'm going to go ahead and harvest this before the birds get it. Interestingly, growing on the same stem, on the same plant, is a cluster of berries that are nowhere near ready to harvest. So when you're harvesting elderberries, really what you want to look for are those dark purple berries. And we'll start with this one here. I'm going to go ahead and harvest that, and just some kitchen shears work as well as anything. Just go ahead and harvest your clumps. Again, you're looking for the ones that are dark purple. That's a nice one right there. I'd say that one weighs about a pound. Here's one. There's a nice one. I'm going to go ahead and harvest that. I just came in from the garden with my morning harvest of elderberries, and the next step is to clean them. Get rid of all the passengers, the little critters and leaves and things that came in with the berries. Easiest way to do that is just float them in some nice cold water and let them sit for a while. Agitate them gently. You'll notice that this cluster still has a few unripe berries, so I'm going to go ahead and remove those after they've dried. The next step is to allow them to drip dry on a nice clean towel. And after they've dried, the next step will be destemming them. Before you destem the berries, you want to go ahead and pick off any green, unripened berries that you can find on a cluster. Typically you will find one or two berries that haven't quite ripened yet. So go ahead and go through every cluster and remove the green berries by hand. It's a little tedious, but it's not too bad. It's worth the effort, because those green berries are going to be bitter and they might ruin your pie or your extract or whatever it is that you happen to be making. The last step in home processing your elderberries is to get them off the stem. So we've got our elderberries over here, and they've been cleaned and dried, or drip dried, and we've had the larger part of the stem removed. So now this is a freezer bag.
Today we're going to be destemming some elderberries. We picked our elderberries and put them in a bag, stem and all. You can see by looking in the bag here what we've got. We've got a bunch of elderberries. They're still clinging very tightly to the stems. All we do at this point with our sealed bag, we want to shake that around vigorously. Alright, now that I've got all the berries shaken, what I can do is just open this bag up, and you can just kind of lightly pick those stems out. All the heavy berries are going to sink. If there's any berries on there, just kind of knead them right off their stems. Most of them come off pretty easy just by shaking them. We discard all the stems as we pick them off into a bowl, and as we get all these stems out of the bag, we get less and less stems and more berries start to gather at the bottom of the bag. As you can see, we've got mostly all our berries in the bag now. One good method too is once you get most of the berries out, grab yourself a colander. So now you can just take all those berries that are pretty well all these stems, put them in your colander. At that point you can kind of go through and just kind of loosen them around a little bit, and you'll find a few of the little tiny micro stems left that you may have missed the first time around. So here's your opportunity to take those little stems out, and as you can see, some of them will actually cling to the outside of the colander. And then at that point you've got your berries and they're ready to pour right on into a bowl and transfer, and you'll be ready to start making stuff with these things now. It's that easy.